Hi bass players. Today we're moving on to page 5 of Essential Elements Book 2, and page 5 is just kind of reviewing the same notes that we worked on page 4, the notes of the G major scale. So we're going to start out by playing the G major scale again. Incidentally, the violins are learning a different octave of G major, which is why we're going through the same set of notes twice. We're going to start with number 14, which is the G major scale, and this time it's not in a round, it's in what we call a pepperoni pizza rhythm. 4 eighth notes followed by 2 quarter notes. So we are going to be repeating the top note of the scale for this variation, as is written in the notes. We'll go ahead and do this one full tempo. When you're playing eighth notes on the bass, you'll notice that the strings respond fairly slowly, so you need to just dig in with a real punchy bow stroke, using very, very little bow, so much more weight into the bow than energy across the bow. Just make sure that you're making your arm heavy, and then really using a very small bow, biting the string on each bow stroke. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. G major arpeggio is G, B, D, and G. And they just happen to each be on a different string. So you're using all 4 strings for the G major arpeggio. Okay, now the next one is called Intonation Encounters, and this is a duet. And when you're playing a duet on bass, if you are playing with another bass player, you could play one person's on the top part and the other person's on the bottom part. However, as a bass player, if you are playing with someone who plays a different instrument than you, it pretty much always sounds best if the bass player is playing the bottom part. And that is because your notes are always going to be lower than the other instrument, and if you end up playing the top part with lower notes and then the other instrument plays the bottom part with higher notes, it just kind of flips the harmony upside down. So it's always best to have the basses on whatever is the lowest part. In this case, that's the B part, and the B part is a little simpler than the A part, so it's a little bit more manageable for you to learn. However, we're going to go ahead and go through both today, and again, you'd only play the A part if you are playing with another bass player, and so they're both in that low register. I will go ahead and play the B part first. And now I'll go ahead and play the A part in case you are interested in learning that. And then finally, we'll do the last one on the page, which is called the Outback. Let's go ahead and do this one slow first, and we want to be really careful of the rhythm on this one. We're going to start with the down bow, and then our eighth notes actually start up bow. So our eighth notes are what we call a flipped bowing with an up bow on the beat. So up, down, up. And then the second measure, we do start with eighth notes. So on a down bow, down, up, down, up, down, up. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And every other measure is going to be that rhythm. This is the slow tempo. get done. Should we try the faster tempo? Good job. So remember to contact me if you need any help with this, and go easy on yourself if it seems like you're having a hard time learning all the songs. If you just focus on maybe 1 or 2 songs on each page, really kind of getting used to reading the notes on the bass, especially if you're a new bass player, that is sufficient for now. And then just understand, when we get into our ensemble music for bass, your part will not have as many notes in it as the other instruments. So the way that ensemble music is written, they generally tend to give the bass fewer notes because they are providing the foundation on which everyone tunes to. So learning lots of notes and being able to play quickly is not your first priority. Playing slowly and in tune is much more important at this point. So don't worry if you're not able to get all the notes for all the songs. Focusing on the simpler songs and playing them really accurately in tune will serve you better as a bass player. And don't get frustrated if you're just starting this. The songs in the book are actually probably more challenging than what you'll get in orchestra once we start playing ensemble music. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions or need help with anything. Bass is a very different instrument than the others, so a lot of things kind of do need to be interpreted for bass, and I'm happy to help you with that. Good luck and happy practicing.